What's up everyone, this is Yasir and in today's video I have a new team about a Pokemon I used on my live stream. If you're not following, make sure to check my live stream at twitch.tv/YasirAlid. And the team was built around Primarina, which is the new starter from the Alolan region. And we put it with Azu, since like what's better than one Azu having two Azu in the same team. And we were looking for like what's the best anti-Registeel / anti-poison, and it's like Diggersby. GFisk is slightly better, but that's very meta, and you can't just use something spicy with a meta core, because that's just gonna show how strong the meta core is, while spicy thing is not doing anything. You know what, let's just go and watch the battles. So here we're trying to build the team, and I have a rank 2 XL Diggersby. Okay, moving into the first battle. Diggersby into Scrafty, a horrible lead. We have two answers for this. We swapped into Azu, and they counted out the swap with Hypno. Hypno is very tough for Azu to beat. Why? Because that Hypno is not Shadow. It's like the confusion is doing so much damage, plus the Thunder Punch. It's not an amazing move, but it does what is needed, right? We managed to grab a shield at this point, and I'm not gonna shield anything. Let's see what they're gonna do. Non-Shadow Hypno is tough, just because it's bulkier, but it doesn't do enough fast move pressure. But as you guys can see, they can still no shield one move, because it's bulky enough to tank moves. So now I have to go Diggersby and leave this matchup with lots of energy. I know that they did 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they did 3. So this is a punch. So there is no way they get to a Focus Blast or anything, because I don't think they have it. So somehow I threw in an Earthquake without paying attention. I believe I was reading chat, but this was a bad play by me. I know it's bad. I knew it's bad that time. It's like I was like reading chat and spamming my screen, and I ended up throwing the EQ. Last Pokemon, they had AWAC, so there is no way we can win this game. So I'm just gonna fast forward this. Okay. This is the same battle. Something is lagging here. I'm not sure whether it's the recording or what. Okay, moving into the next battle. Diggersby into Deoxys deepens. Okay, I thought like I somehow thought it's like the game, the media player classic that's lagging. It turns out it's like the game, because this is just a record. It shows how laggy is the game. Yeah, the game like 2 days ago was very horrible. So we managed to shield the Psycho Boost. Now I can beat DD, but like DD doesn't care to shield. And I threw in CMP. That was a mistake by me, because if I threw before, I would have forced them to shield or killed them before they get through the move. They brought in an Azu. Every DD, has an Azu, or like a Nidoqueen in the back. So now Azu versus Azu. The one who sneaks more will win. Okay, we didn't manage to throw in CMP, so no one snuck anything so far. I started ahead. They paused for 1 turn, which means I can deny them. So now if I sneak, I should win the mirror. But the thing is, if both are very XL'd Azu, it doesn't matter, because both are gonna survive with 1 HP, and you guys will see soon. Okay, they managed to. How did I lose this mirror? And they had that much of HP. At this point, I need to. Okay, let's move on. At this point, I just need to. I can go straight Fire Punch after grabbing the shield. But you know what? Look at this. Now they are 1 fast move away. And somehow I was spamming EQ, and I knew they are 1 fast move away, and which ended up me losing the game, because if I threw that Fire Punch, it would have ended up being at half HP, and then I can just go spam the Psychic. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because they would still get to the EQ before they get to the Psychic, and I would still lose. So I don't think I would have won. I would have been able to win that game. Moving into the next battle. Hopefully Diggersby might be able to catch 1 good lead, because so far I don't think I have won any lead yet. So it's Diggersby into Stunfisk. Yo, finally we won a lead. Opponent tried to catch on the Resident Sleeper Pokemon, aka Dugong. It's a The code that they are playing that was like Dugang with GFisk was popular in Season 4, late Season 3. It was a good code back in the days because nothing can beat those two together. And then the game introduced us GFisk, which destroy this code. And then there is like Trevenant, which destroy GFisk, when nothing GFisk can do. Hopefully one day they will give Universe Stunfisk an Earth power, and then it would be able to do something that is not as bad, something better than the things that it can do now, because right now it doesn't do any good thing. Like, look at this. It's a very bulky Pokemon, decent stat product, has Mud Shot, has Discharge, Mud Bomb, decent coverage move, but it doesn't have a nuke. And there is no reason to not give it a nuke. Maybe one day they will buff it, who knows. Okay, now Medicham. I don't need to shield this by any means. So I don't need to shield the first one, because if I shield bait, the matchup's gonna become horrible. At this point, I live this Psychic, so I can risk no shield here. They go for the Pot Punch, which is, so that's a decent bait call by me. I know that they will try to bait again, because that's the only play, but at this point, I cannot risk no shielding it. And to be honest, I had countered that opponent from the beginning till the end of the game, and they managed to make this game very, very close, which is a good play by them. Like I had a hard answer to everything they had, and they still made it. Like, look at this. You can argue that because they had Dugang, which is a very annoying Pokemon, but I think they played very, very well. They managed to soak up the energy. They managed to use their charge moves on the correct Pokemon. They managed to swap correctly, do everything they need to play that team. I think they are like very familiar with this team. Okay, finally Diggersby picking a good lead, but the thing is, this team doesn't beat Azu. Like, we don't have a straight answer to Azu. So I have to stay in, and I can risk no shield one move, and then I have to shield the second. So we snuck in a fast move, which means I can charm down the Azu now, unless the game said something different. So yeah, there is no way I can grab the shield back, because Shadow Diggersby doesn't live the Psychic. And yeah, so now they have 2 poison jabs. I don't know why I threw here, but to be honest, it doesn't matter, because they swapped to their Swampert. At this point, one play rough doesn't KO, and all I need is going straight Ice Beam. Why did I throw the play rough? I need 2 Ice Beams here. I mean, it doesn't matter, because yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go, because Fire Punch plus the Mud Shot will KO here, and then I can KO the Beedrill before it gets to 2 moves. I can risk no shield 1 move. So let's see. They will Drill Run here. Why I'm throwing the Fire Punch, I don't know, but all I know is they cannot win this game, because I survived the next move. Since I have a shield, they don't have a shield. They need 2 moves, which they won't be able to get. And GG to my opponent. That game, Diggersby killed 2 Pokemons. Azu tanked charge moves, and Primarina was able. Opponent is using Shadow Arcanine. I think it's part of a challenge that some content creators asked for, like something where, like, if you manage to get X amount of wins with Triple Shadow. But the thing is, they are using Wiggles in the back, so it's not that a challenge. So Wiggles versus Azu. I win the 1 and the 0. So let's see. I can just throw the Ice Beam here. I managed to grab a shield from the EQ, which was good for me, because now I can shield. I shielded once. And guess what they have in the back? Shadowvic. I don't beat Shadowvic with any of this stuff here. And they also caught a move, which made it even much worse. So there is no reason I win this game. You know why? Because I don't have any answer to Shadowvic. That's the problem with Primarina. It doesn't have any pressure. And I think so far, every game I'm winning, it's just because I have Azu and Diggersby, and I'm losing because I have Primarina that's literally not providing any damage or any extra stuff that the code is providing. Look at this. Solid. This is a solid lead. They swapped into Sableye. So I assume Basti, Sableye, what's in the back? It has to be Medi. So I am shielding. To be honest, that shield doesn't matter. They got in the Basti again and they threw because they know that this Pokemon has Hydro Pump, which they don't want to do. They don't want me to get to, because if they overfarm, I can get to Hydro Pump and then my Diggersby is gonna win CMP, so they would rather kill this Pokemon here ASAP rather than just like taking some damage. So let's see now. It's Sableye, it's Medicham, I'm calling it. Yes, it's Medicham, and at this point their Bastiodon is dead. They have Medicham versus the world. I'm not shielding the first one and the second one. Why? Because that's the safest play I can do. They have 2 shield, which means I can go straight Ice Beam after I get to the play rough to force them to shield it. Even if they no shield it, it's fine because the bubble damage is gonna add up and put it in much shot range. So I threw Ice Beam. There is no reason to throw any Ice Beam mode, so I can just go straight play rough now because they have 1 shield. They can't shield 2 play roughs, right? They had to call it and they didn't call it correctly. And yeah, we win this game. Primarina was able to charm down a fairy, a dark Pokemon, which any charmer can do, so that was nothing special there. Jellicent, it depends. If they have Hex, I win. If they have Bubble, they win. So let's see, is it Hex Ice Beam or Hex Bubble Beam? It's Hex Bubble Beam. There is no way they win this. They can't even chip me enough because now they have to shield the EQ, which they did. To be honest, it's a good shield for them. You know, what's better than shielding a Nuke? I'm gonna throw this one here and then swap to my own Charmer. Just because I can, not because I have to. Now look at this. Opponent is at the Shadow Ball. I shielded because they shouldn't be throwing the Bubble Beam. But they threw the Bubble Beam for no reason. That's a bad play. I don't think they should be doing that, even if it's a guaranteed shield. Okay, they snuck in a charm, so we ended up this match. Okay, so Jellicent, 1 charmer. Like, whenever I see Jellicent and the charmer, I assume it's a second charmer in the back. So let's see. I'm just gonna go Ice Beam here. Why? Because it does enough damage to KO, and there is no reason to throw. They have Machamp in the back. Like, what the heck is this team? I don't know what they want to beat with this team. They are almost very weak to Azu. Like, you might argue that they have Hex, so Jellicent can beat Azu, but that's very risky. Like, you can't just have a grass lead. Guess what? I'm top lefting. I don't have any answer for that. Medicham, horrible lead for Diggersby. Diggersby so far hasn't picked any good lead. No, it actually picked up a Beedrill, which is a good lead. So that took us a bit long, you know, to find one good lead. They have the Basti. They didn't shield, which was tough for us. So now I have to go straight play rough. And yeah, so my switch is up soon. So at this point, I can throw this move and then swap out, or just decide to stay in. Okay, I was like, okay, let me get to a move, then swap out if he doesn't throw. But they threw their energy. At this point, I'm gonna mud shot this thing all the way down. So let's see. I'm not gonna throw anything. I'm gonna count to 9, then throw. Okay, because they needed 6 smackdowns to get to the next move, which... Okay, so they didn't swap out, so it's a Sableye in the back. Let's see, chat. Yeah, it's Sableye in the back, and they transferred the charm, so there is no way that they get more than one return, or like 1 foul play. They threw the foul play, they brought in the Medi, and GG. There's no way they win this. First game, this is the second game where we win because we have Primarina, and it wasn't because we have Primarina, it was just because we have a Charmer. Okay, the next game, Kofagrigus is a solid lead for Diggersby, so Diggersby so far picked up 2 leads, that's it. We swapped into Primarina after they swapped to Azu. I know that I can tank a move. And I'm just gonna throw the Psychic. If they shield, I shield and farm down. So let's see what's gonna happen now. Ice Beam. Okay, they brought in Kofagrigus. So they have 3 fast moves. I can just go back to Diggersby. Okay, they have a GFisk in the back. And guess what? Diggersby is able to kill 2 Pokemons in this team. And Diggersby finally found a game where like it can actually win. Moving into the next battle. I think this is the last one. Sableye, amazing lead for Diggersby. But you know what? Niantic had different plans for this game. We're like, oh, how about we lag you and then so you can't keep track on this energy. So at this point, I was counting the second and I assumed that they didn't get anything extra because I looked up at the second. I counted like 5 seconds during the lag and I get 5 fast moves. So I should win this as long as... At this point, I should be swapping out if they no shield because I want to snipe it. They are at the return. Some people like just bait because it's bait. Okay, they have Frostlass. I don't need to shield this. I can get to 2 play roughs without shielding before they get to 2 Shadow Balls. Why? Because I had 3 bubbles lead. So let's see. Ice Beam is enough to KO here. There is no reason to throw the play rough. They shielded. I don't need to shield, to be honest. There is no reason to shield. So if it's an avalanche, good for them. To be honest, I should have swapped right there to get some energy lead. But I think I was able to get to a move. Yes, so there is no reason to do that. So at this point, I'm just going to go straight Fire Punch. Why? Because he might catch on Sableye and catching an Earthquake might flip this game for me. So it doesn't matter now if he catch because I'm just throwing Fire Punches. There is no reason for me to throw an EQ before that thing gets to a move. So I don't need to shield. I have an Ice Beam ready on my Azu. Plus the Fire Punch. That should be enough damage to KO the GFisk. Why? And we can win the game without any help from the Primarina. So I played Primarina for 5